Would you rather be stuck with a bear or a man?
If I had to choose, like a bear would probably maul me and kill me. But a man, maybe he can protect me. Maybe he can build a home, a shelter for us and protect me.
There's a potential that the bear might be a shy bear that doesn't have the unnatural instincts it might be really, really shy.
Welcome to the Real and Relatable podcast, where no topic is off limits. We're the girlfriends that keep it real and give you different perspectives, because we know one way isn't always the right way.
Hey guys, welcome to the Real Relatable podcast. I'm Ma.
My name is Kat.
I'm LC.
And before we get started, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. So in today's episode, I wanted to talk about the whole bear or man discussion that has been going on all over TikTok. You guys may or may not have seen it.
I did see it, not by searching for it, but just by coincidence after we talked about it. So maybe our phones are listening to us.
Okay. So the question, so I'm going to ask you guys, and I just kind of want to get your first initial response. And the question was, would you rather be stuck with a bear or a man?
Yeah.
See, I need more information than that.
No, okay, but we'll get more into that. But that's the initial question. So what is your initial response?
I'm really scared of bears.
Exactly.
I'm really scared of bears. Really, really, really scared.
That's what I think of. Okay, so if you had to choose, like a bear would probably maul me and kill me. But a man, maybe he can protect me. Maybe he can build a home, a shelter for us and protect me here. You know, that's what I'm thinking. He's also a human being that I can communicate with, and we can survive together and make plans and figure things out together. I feel like a bear, what's a bear going to do for me? That's what I'm thinking. That's where my brain goes.
So you would rather be stuck with the man then?
Yeah.
And there's no definition to this man. It's just a random man.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a human being that I can connect with and, like, I don't know, build a house.
Okay, what about you?
But hold on, let me add this. I think that the idea of this question is, let's pretend you're stuck in this map, right? This region. And
let's just say you're on an island.
Yeah. And a small enough island that you're going to run into each other at some point, right? But the question is based on, we don't know, there's a potential that the bear might be a shy bear that doesn't have the unnatural instincts it might be really, really shy. True story. I saw a bear at Yosemite National Park.
Okay.
And in my entire life, I would think that when I see a bear, it's going to be like National Geographic, where it's like mauling someone's face off, right? But I saw this bear in real life from a distance, and it was the skinniest, clumsiest bear. And because I saw two hikers, and they were like, "Oh my God, a bear!" And I got scared, and I said, "Where?" They pointed the bear out, and the ranger was shooting air with a sound to scare the bear away. And the bear literally was like, like, and stumbling and scared and trying to get away. I just thought,
so it was a gentle bear.
Yeah, I just thought, this is a clumsy bear. It's not scary at all. And that's the one and only time I've seen a bear in real life. So my point is, you're stuck on a map in a region, and the bear could be really bad. It could be a bear that does maul your face off, or it could be not so bad. And then the man can also be a good intentioned man who helps you, but it can also be a man who will torture you in the worst possible way. You just don't know. So the question, right?
Well, what is he going to do? Like, right away, just like tie you up and torture you? Like, at the minute that you're like,
we're talking about,
like, I don't understand.
Humanity. The worst and the best and the worst.
I don't understand.
Cash, answer the question. What would you pick?
I think a bear.
I actually would pick a bear too. But that's because it plays on my fear of the unknown, right? Yeah. What I do know of the bear is that the worst that the bear can do to me is kill me. The worst that a man can do for me is unlimited. Who knows? Because I don't know what the timeline of how long we're going to be in this situation. And I don't know what his capabilities are. Now, if I got to see him face to face, potentially, depending on what he looks like and how he reacts, I potentially could pick them if I feel like there's something safe about him.
I've never met a man and immediately fear for my life. So I mean, if it's like a homeless person that's talking to themselves to the side and like erratic, then yes, it's scary.
Yeah.
But I've never walked down the street and just like immediately fear a man. So to me, I feel that if I were stuck somewhere, I'd rather have a human with me to like help me get out of that situation.
But that's with your thought of he's going to help me. Right. But that's your thought. Like, oh, this guy's going to
If
help
you
me.
were also stuck on an island, he's also going to want me to help him.
Would your answers change if the question changed? So would you rather have a man chasing you or a bear chasing you?
Chasing?
Yes. You're running.
Okay, so
and it's
that
chasing
means
you.
they're chasing to hurt.
Well, you don't know that. They're just chasing you.
No, chasing is a bad thing. They're chasing because they are going to hurt you or kill you.
But what if you have like a tag sticking out your back and they're chasing you to try to take
Let's
that
just
tag
say
out?
you-
Bear's not going to chase you for that.
Let's just
They
say
don't have that
let's
logic.
just say you
Yeah.
are stuck in a situation where you are running and something is chasing you. Would you prefer a man or a bear?
Well, in that case, probably bear. Why? Because they're chasing me because probably they're going to hurt me because a bear is not chasing me to put a tag back.
Not
It's
for fun. Yeah.
You know, so the bear is definitely just going to kill me immediately. So, right, apples to apples, they're chasing me out of aggression, out of anger, out of whatever, right? A man is definitely going to make you suffer more because you're not going to die immediately because human to human contact doesn't work that way where you don't die immediately, you know, unless he like bashes your
They
skull
want
in.
something from you first.
Yeah, or he bashes your skull in and then you die immediately, right? But going back to your point, if there is aggression involved, the man, you're going to be hurt longer and you're going to die a slower death with a man. But with a bear, potentially you could die faster.
Well, would you rather have a bear or a man chasing you?
I think if I was already stuck in a situation where I was running and it had to be a bear or a man, I think I would prefer a man be chasing me because
A man? Really?
Yeah.
Man?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I would prefer a man chasing me because when you think about the strength, the physical differences between an animal and a human being, they by far surpass our
You're for sure going to die.
our speed. Like we could be like, I could be like, oh my god, let me try to just zigzag because I heard that works. No, a bear, even if you go into the water, the bear will still get you. You go on a tree, the bear can climb trees. So I feel like if they're already chasing me, like you said, the bear has bad intentions. It's being aggressive. It wants to do, not nice things to me. Likewise for a man. However, a man, I have a better chance at outrunning a man, perhaps. I have a better chance at the man might be stupid and twist his ankle. You know what I mean? I can't swim, but maybe if I can swim, pretend, and he can't swim, I can maybe get away from him. So my point is, if I was already in that situation, a man is more limited. Even though
I get that.
even though like a man is stronger than a woman chasing me, a man is still weaker than a bear chasing me.
You have a higher chance.
A little better chance, a little bit.
Okay, I can see that where you can actually hide and get away.
You might.
Okay.
He might just hurt himself or whatever. But the animal, I have no chance.
You might not go to grab a stick and hit him and then
throw a rock and
and then he's like, I forget it.
Yeah,
A bear is not going to give
a
up.
bear. No, you got no chance.
Yeah.
How about you?
I still would pick the bear.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's because, I'll give it to these people who's been commenting on these TikTok videos and saying, oh, it's because you guys watch too many true crime documentaries. Yes, that actually is very true.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a lot of fear because I do watch a lot of true crime documentaries. But true crime is based off of true stories. So it's not like it doesn't happen.
I feel like most human beings are not evil like that. If you're just like stuck somewhere, in my heart, I don't feel that human beings are that evil. Of course, there are a small percentage of people who are really evil, but I don't believe that that's a majority of human beings.
So what do you,
Especially
so what
on
are
a
you saying?
one-on-one situation where you're both stuck, you're gonna try to help each other.
So what are you saying? You're saying that most people, they're answering these questions and it's fear driven?
Yeah.
Well, it is, of course. Yeah.
It's fear driven.
Your initial response is fear driven, but I know you had a different response, but I've seen a lot of videos where the wives would ask their husband,
Yeah.
like, if you had to pick a man or a bear for our daughter to be stuck with, who would you pick? Overwhelmingly, a lot of husbands pick a bear, and the reason why they pick a bear is because, well, one of them was like, men are evil. He goes, you don't know how a man thinks. So you don't really know what their potential of danger is. So, and this is coming from a man. And so they're like, well, that's just, a lot of people are like, that's dumb. They're like, okay, well then let's ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT said a bear would pick a bear.
Because,
Yeah. Well,
how does ChatGPT get its answer?
off of statistics.
Yes, not statistics, but the web data. It just aggregates all the data and then gives you the answer.
No, well,
everything
that's
from
what
the
popular
data.
answers. No. It gave statistics of the chances of you being mauled by a bear versus the chances of you being essayed by a man. It actually went on data. Yeah. Not just.
That makes sense. That's fair.
Yeah.
So the question was not really, would you, for ChatGPT to even answer that question, you really have to give him the scenario. The chance of being mauled by a bear versus being essayed by a man.
No, that was the question that they typed in.
It's smart enough to tie it together.
Yeah.
But that is true though. A lot of people so I go backpacking a lot and I go hiking a lot.
And you carry your bear spray
I
all
carry
the time.
my bear spray even when I go to the gas station at night by myself.
Okay, that's true. You do.
Yeah, it's because I don't trust.
But not for bears, for men.
Yeah.
And not for bears.
Exactly. But the chances of getting attacked by a wild cougar, mountain lion, or a bear, very, very, very minimal.
While you're hiking.
While you're out in the nature and outdoors. So I can understand why ChatGPT gave those stats, because it is true. It's very unlikely. Very. So maybe that's why the dads say, you know what? I prefer my daughter to be stuck with a bear, because it's most of the time they're just minding their own business unless you're trying to mess with their cubs.
That's actually what one of the dads said. He goes, the chances of the bear not injuring my daughter is a little higher, because the bear could, for all you know, just be like, okay, bye.
And sometimes they get spooked, so they might get defensive. But it's more rare that you'll meet a bear that's aggressive, that's trying to eat you. Even more rare. Maul saying that for the episodes that she's seen on TikTok or YouTube or whatever platform she prefers, which is TikTok.
Yeah.
A large majority of men prefer to have their daughter stuck with a bear.
Yeah.
I did see a wife ask one episode where a wife asked her husband, and the husband said, "Oh, honey, I prefer my daughter to be stuck with a man." And the wife just was so surprised. The wife's like, "Why?" And the man, like LC, said, "Well, because if I was stuck in a forest and there was a young girl, I would want to help her. So I would think that if my daughter sees a man, he would want to help her, or So basically, he's saying, well, this is my tendency. So I would think that you basically sometimes expect others to treat you the way you tend to see the world, the way you tend to see the world."
Yeah, 100%. You project your own fears onto others. You project your own innocence to other, or you project how you feel humanity is. And I generally feel like most people are kind and helpful. Obviously, there's that percentage of people who are not nice.
Yeah, maybe because you're kind and helpful, you think they're like you.
Exactly, so
Hey,
I would
I'm kind and helpful. I'm not out here murdering people.
It's more like you project your fear. So you're the fear-driven person.
I mean, because she's paranoid. She's not a murderer, or she's never done anything like that.
She is kind of helpful, but her fear will definitely trump that.
Well, that's because, well, okay, it is true. I do watch a lot of true crime documentaries, but it's all about being safe, because, I'm not like a person that is, well built and that can take care of myself or anything. I'm a tiny, petite person, and anyone can probably just throw me over their shoulders and throw me in their van and hurt me, So I have to be
It's your own.
So I have to be
fear.
careful. And I mean, to your point, I've never met a guy that has ill intentions towards me, or that wanted to hurt me.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change my thought of when I meet somebody that I'm not on guard. I am still always going to be on
Of
guard.
course, you should be on guard. Everyone should. You should fill this person out. You shouldn't be all like, oh, they're immediately wonderful and are gonna help me.
I feel like you're a little bit too trusting with people, because I mean, we mentioned it in one episode where you almost got kidnapped. But I feel like if you were a little bit more on guard, you probably would have noticed those signs ahead of time.
No, it wasn't that I almost got kidnapped. I went on this date, and after then, there was no chemistry. And so I'm waiting for my Uber to leave, and the guy was just like, I can see and feel that he was getting more and more nervous, and he was pacing back and forth behind me. Maybe it's just like my personal confidence of feeling that I can protect myself. I am vigilant enough where I know what's going on, that this is not going to happen to me, and I'm in full control of myself and my situation at all times. But yeah, no, it's not like I almost got kidnapped because I wasn't paying attention.
Well, I feel like in life you have to be smart, and not oblivious and ignorant, but you want to balance that with not being paranoid everywhere you go. To the point where you just, the quality of life has lessened. You know what I mean? So it's that fine balance. My cousin, I stayed with her for I think 1 month or 2 months before I moved to Los Angeles. And her white noise was those murder documentaries and the whole. I just thought
that's scary.
I just thought, okay, she a little weird. Like that's kind of weird because this gives me anxiety. That's like the norm. It's just what's playing in the background.
Oh my goodness.
But and like all the plants were dying. I'm like, is it the energy of this place? I don't know. But anyways, but I will have to say, I think about 2.5 months ago, the algorithm in my YouTube just pulled this murder mystery, and I got hooked on it. I'm just like, oh my God. And then I kept watching more and more and more. And then I found myself watching the same thing for like the whole week. And then it became a pattern, and that's all I saw when I opened YouTube. But I started watching it because I thought this is really good for me to maybe just take hints of how other people survive.
Exactly.
Or how they did not survive. Mm-hmm. And you pick up on things. Yeah. And so for me, I started watching it, and then at some point I had to tell myself I better stop, because this is making me have anxiety, and I need to watch more happy stuff. But I can see why now some people watch it.
But tagging onto that, though, I definitely also love watching the true crimes and murder stuff. But it doesn't trigger my fear. What it does is like helps me be more aware, to be smart.
Yeah.
Like I watched this episode. This college girl got kidnapped by like a security person or something, and just drove her off to a different state. And she was really scared that she was going to get SA'd. And so that evening, like her alarm went off, and he was like, oh, what is that for? And she said, immediately she was so quick thinking. She said, I have an STD. This alarm is to tell me to take my pills. So I don't have my pills with me. And so she never got SA'd.
Oh, because she said that.
Yeah, she said she has an STD. And so he was like afraid.
She was
going
getting
to her. Yeah.
But did he kill her?
No. Ultimately, he let her go.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what happened, but yeah. But this girl was so smart.
Okay. So you know what I'm going to do is start setting random alarms.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you have a random alarm.
STD pill.
Yeah, exactly, guys.
That's gonna scare me out, guys. They're gonna be like,
Well,
no.
the guy that you like, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's just to call my man.
Even though it says STD.
Well, don't face it.
Don't put it out there.
No, but I feel like you know, sometimes the world is a scary place. I think about, you know, when I have a daughter, you know, I think about how much I'll be so scared and paranoid for sometimes you could go to the grocery store and somebody will do something bad. You know, you just never know. So you always have to be smart. Like when you go to your car, if there is something weird that's sitting on your hood, you know, or if you're parked in a corner, make sure that nobody just pops up. You just always want to be aware and just be smart, especially when you're traveling internationally, you know, traveling to countries where the likelihood of getting kidnapped or murdered might be increased. You know, just not wearing expensive jewelry, just basic smarts. And
Do you guys feel like the world has changed? Because I feel like it doesn't feel as safe as it used to. I don't know if it's because I was more innocent when I was younger. I felt like it was safe growing up. When we were younger, we were walking around the neighborhood, biking around the neighborhood. Never felt like it was not safe. And now we hear so much that I would definitely be, you know, afraid for my children.
But I feel like social media also plays a role in that too, because when we were younger, what outlet do we have of informing us of dangerous people? The news, right? And that was it, right? It's not like we had the internet or TikTok or, you know, all these shorts showing us like all these people that's getting abducted and whatever. When we were young, I walked around our entire town by myself sometimes. And I never had the fear or thought of someone's going to kidnap me and essay me and whatever. I never had those thoughts, not until I started watching too much true crime, but not until I was older. But I feel like even now, I feel like it's still, even now it's like unsafe.
But the internet and social media is also making people crazy. I feel like causing problems like mental health issues, feeling the loneliness, feeling being inadequate, and maybe causing people to
definitely
more.
Quality of life has been influenced by technology for sure and by social media for sure. However, to answer your question as to is it more of a dangerous world, I don't think so. I think it's the same. Yeah, I think it's the same because when you're younger, when we were younger, I remember in Minnesota there was this young girl who knew this Caucasian man who was offering jobs and stuff, and he apparently picked her up and she disappeared and she never got discovered again. And I remember when we were kids, I'm thinking like maybe 5 years old, I remember my mom and all the adults saying, better be careful, you know, come home, don't go play out at night, don't be like that girl who got kidnapped in the white van. They never found out who it was, and that man, I think it was him, but he never got locked up. I think they didn't have enough evidence, or anything like that. But it's the levels of danger is the same. It's just heightened, in my opinion, by all of the stuff that's out there. But I will acknowledge, maybe with technology, it's easier to spy on people. It's easier to put tags on. Not ear tags, because, you know, but it's easier to put spyware. I was talking to my friend Daryl yesterday, and, you know, he said that someone he knows was dating somebody who installed spyware into her phone and was seeing her stuff on her phone. It's scary.
Oh my God.
So technology heightens the level of crazy, the level of obsessiveness. Those are tools. But is it safer or not safer? I feel it's the same.
Okay.
People have more tools to be crazy.
Yes.
But, you know, I mean, thankfully for social media, you know, it also spreads awareness too. And like you guys said, it teaches you of how to protect yourself in case you come into these situations, which is why I'm super paranoid and I double check everything. Again, I've never had a situation where I had to fend for myself in that way. So, I mean, I've been very thankful, grateful for that. But if I ever did, at least I know how, at least I think I would know how to protect myself.
I'm glad you're smart and you're cautious enough. I'm glad to hear that.
Gosh, I hope so. And now I'm gonna jinx myself.
No, she's even afraid to talk to my male dog sitters. So
Yes.
I'm like, girl, that's taking a little bit too far, but
I don't
but
know
I
him.
get it.
No.
I mean, what if one day he wakes up and he's like, I got nothing to live for, so I'm gonna do something stupid today.
Well, see,
I'm gonna go feed Vita and
yeah,
do
well,
something
because of somebody I don't know, and you also don't know. You only hired him to feed your dog, but he has access to our place because he has the keys, and it's 24/7 access. And I don't know when he can. That's true. Unlawfully use those keys and enter the home.
Yeah.
So of course I have a fear of that.
But I have the same fear for female sitters. I don't have the fear that I'm gonna get SA'd, but I think, sometimes girls, there's differences, but they can do bad things too,
Yeah.
I think in life you have to. There is no living life unless you can have a healthy level of trust.
Mm-hmm.
You don't drive unless you have a trust that people are going to be driving with licenses and abiding by the rules. You don't get into a train without knowing that everyone's trained. Or a pilot, you don't go into a plane. We trust that the pilot's not going to be and crash the entire plane. That's happened before.
Yeah.
That has happened
Oh
before.
my God!
There
New
has
fear
been-
unlocked.
No, so my point is there is a level of trust that you have to live a happy life.
Yeah.
That's just it. It takes that much.
Back to your original
Mhm.
question. So there's a lot of guys in the comment section very upset, or they've also made like stitch videos in response to all these women who are selecting the bear instead of the man.
Yeah, I'd be upset too if I were doing
Oh my God. Okay. But I think this is more so to provide a perspective of why some women would pick a bear versus a man. I know you picked a man.
I picked a man.
Yeah, you picked a bear and I picked
a bear.
But when the situation changed,
Chasing?
yeah, you picked the bear
The bear.
and I still picked the bear, but you picked
I
the
pick the
man.
man because I can outsmart the man.
That's not going to make them feel any better.
So yeah, I have a chance with the man. The bear, I have no chance.
I think some guys just don't understand how vulnerable women can be when it comes to those kind of situations. It could be a situationship, it could be a relationship, or anything like that. And
But I still think it's such a low chance for a man to just essay you.
It's a higher chance than a bear attacking you, statistically. Higher chance. I don't know.
I mean, I'm glad you still have faith in humanity.
I'll say like again, as I mentioned earlier, I do hike a lot, I backpack a lot, and I don't want to do it solo. If there is a man, in Big Sur, there was a guy who was attacking people, and
Well, yeah, but that's like a 1%.
it's a 1%, but then
I don't think it's by accident, but
if it's 1%, the
10%,
bear is
15%,
0.3%. Huh? If it's 1%, the bear is 0.3%. I'm just giving statistically, the man has a higher likelihood.
Yeah, but I guess I'm not comparing man and bear, the percentage. I'm comparing okay, so 1 out of 10 guys that I meet on the road hiking might do something bad to me. And I just think that's such a low probability for me to not trust a human being,
Oh, but you said human being. Okay. But they did switch the question up and they're like, well, would you rather pick a female, a woman, or a bear? And most people pick the woman.
A woman.
Would still be the human for me.
The whole man and bear thing, I think a lot of women initially respond with bear because it's the fear of the unknown of what a man can do.
But they're not thinking about essaying a girl either. A lot of men are upset because they're like, wait, I wouldn't essay a woman just because we're stranded somewhere.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't do it, and I understand why they would feel like, well, I'm a good intentioned man, and it's unfair that you're casting this judgment upon all of us. I get that, but the thing is, the potential still exists.
Yeah.
And as a woman, it still happens. All the stuff we see on the murder documentaries and all the shows that we're talking about, that there's so much more that happens that do not get documented, that goes unreported to the police. A lot of murders that happen that don't even get on the news. And so it doesn't even cover what really exists.
And it doesn't even cover like the stories that our friends have of their, essay situations,
I mean,
and those go undocumented and they don't talk about it either.
Well, and I don't report.
no. And I've had things that happen to me. Would I talk about it? No, because I haven't come to terms with it. And I have my own fears of being judged. I don't want to be judged as the victim. It's like you just don't, it's difficult to speak. It's difficult to speak on it,
Yeah. So it's more so of the understanding that, women do live in fear of men sometimes because yes, it's great if everyone was very, had good intentions and if we were stuck together that you were going to help me. But unfortunately we live in this world where we don't know what your potentials are going to be like for both men and women. For all we know, you can be stuck with a woman. She can unalive you too. So, I mean, it's both ways, but it's more so understanding why, why the opposite gender or sex would feel this way, But anyways, there's a lot of talk about essays in this episode, but it's more so just to bring awareness. I'm sure we'll, in a different episode, we'll probably go into more detail about
we should. It's an interesting topic,
Kind of got a little gloomy and sad at the end of this episode. So,
hey, it's real life.
Yeah. It's okay. It's things that we have to talk about. We should not always just talk about sunshine and rainbows,
which we don't. But
whatever.
But okay, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in our next episode. Bye, guys.
Bye.